The most important tourist places in Agadir, Morocco. Had Market in Agadir. One of the largest Moroccan markets that visitors are keen to pass through during tourism tours in Agadir, where the Sunday market is famous for selling huge types and quantities of goods through its 12 gates, each of which leads to stalls selling specific goods with a total of 6,000 stalls. By visiting the organized market, you can buy gifts, souvenirs and your personal needs of handicrafts and traditional crafts that Morocco is famous for, such as clothes and shoes, musical instruments and electronic devices, household items and carpets, pottery and jewelry, and many other luxury goods. It is worth noting that the market is always crowded, however you can get to know and move between its many gates easily and clearly by taxi or on foot. Agadir Crocodile Park. One of the best and most recent tourist places in Agadir for families, with an opening date back to May 2015. During a visit to the Agadir Crocodile Park on the Atlantic coast, you can watch an entertaining show of the 300 Nile crocodiles with a length of 3 meters as they swim, in addition to seeing the giant turtle roaming the horizon and passing on the lucky guests, and iguana lizards enjoying the hot, summer sun, all this in the presence of a large botanical garden, densely green, of great beauty, whose entrance is decorated with a crocodile head, symbolizing the fun and excitement that you have to prepare for inside, so the park is one of the important landmarks of Agadir. Seafront. One of the most beautiful tourist areas in Agadir, which is very similar to the Spanish Canary Islands and its charming beaches. The Agadir Cornish was opened to the public in 2007 with a length of 6 kilometers, divided into 4 main streets: August 20th, Sousa Valley, Tuata, Fonte Bay, full of restaurants, cafes, high-end hotels, and a ferry port. It is distinguished by being one of the best places of tourism in Agadir for young people and families, with hiking and roaming paths during the gentle hours of the day and night among the fountains and surreal Spanish sculptures, with play areas for children and sports such as football, volleyball, jogging and cycling for its hobbyists, visiting the nearby beaches and resorts surrounded by palm trees where you can swim, sunbathe and practice water sports, visit the lighthouse of Marbella and the Roman bridge built to connect several European countries, then end the day with a delicious dinner at one of the nearby restaurants overlooking the picturesque landscape. Agadir Beach. Agadir Beach is one of the best places of tourism in Agadir for families and children and one of the best tourist areas in Agadir for young people also during the summer months until October of each year, where they can swim and lie on the sun loungers in front of the picturesque clear beach and practice fun water sports such as kayaking and windsurfing. The beach is characterized by a backdrop of the high Atlas Mountains, tropical forests and palms surrounded by soft sand dunes undulating and the movement of winds that make its clear waters not very transparent, in addition to its semicircular shape and nature that begin shallow, ideal for children and non-professionals swimming. The closer to the land and the deeper the further away from the beach affected by the waves of the Atlantic Ocean. Casbah of Agadirao Fella. One of the most famous archaeological monuments of Agadir, which has a great long history and several processes of construction and restoration, then destruction and partial reconstruction. The history of the Casbah or fortress of Agadir dates back to the era of Sultan Saadi Muhammad, who founded it in 1540, then the Alawi Sultan Moulay Abdallah took over its restoration in 1752. Before a devastating earthquake hit it in 1960, after which its external walls were partially restored. Walking and climbing to the top of the walls of the Casbah may be difficult and arduous, but you can complete half of it by taking a taxi to enjoy visiting the ruins of that ancient historical shrine and taking a panoramic shot against the background of the sunset of the charming city and its picturesque beach and ancient port. Then visit the luxurious archaeological palace, which is a distance from the fortress. 7 kilometers, then move to other nearby attractions such as the market, the beach, the port, and others. Agadir Valley for birds. One of the best tourist places in Agadir for free summer family outings with children, where the family can see hundreds of species, the most diverse and rare of birds and mammals that belong to the Asian and Latin American continents. Perhaps the most important feature of the park, besides the huge bird cage that adorns its entrance, is the flocks of mountain goats and ostriches that roam freely around the place, and the children's play area and newly established restaurants, which made the Agadir Valley one of the most important tourist attractions in Agadir when visiting the city. Sus Masa National Park. It is a gigantic national park that is very close to being described as a nature reserve, categorized as one of the most important tourist places in Agadir for lovers of scenic landscapes. The national park is located on the Moroccan Atlantic coast with an area of 33,800 hectares, 330 square meters, of wet sand dunes with rocky cliffs, forests and farmland between the Su estuaries in the north and Masa in the south. It is worth noting that the date of the establishment of the park and its declaration as a nature reserve dates back to 1991, and an area of 30,000 hectares was added to the park from its southern side to serve as a feeding area for birds, whose visit will definitely be a milestone during your tourism tours in Agadir. In conclusion, dear tourist, after realizing the beauty, charm, recreation, tranquility, and historical and cultural dose that tourism in Agadir will create and give you, we hope that it will be your tourist destination during your next summer vacation.